Hey, what's going on, y'all? Keep pounding nation. Welcome to another Carolina Panthers talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ, Jason Ingram. So I know I'm kind of late on this, but I wanted to get on here and just talk quickly, just give my thoughts on the recent loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Carolina Panthers put up another good fight, but ended up losing another game to drop to 3-10 as they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles on the road by a final score of 22-16. So as I said, close game, very close game. Um, and honestly, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not really that surprised, being that I did originally predict um, the Eagles to win. I didn't think we would do good enough to secure a victory. But taking a look at these stats, I mean, Carolina still put up a decent fight. Um, Bryce Young, 19 of 34, 191 yards, one touchdown, one interception, only sacked once. Um, the interception was definitely on him. Threw it into an area, didn't see the safety, and the safety just undercut, pretty much just jumped in front of it. Um, really just good play on the safety. CJ Gardner Johnson, he picked that off. And, wasn't really a smart decision by Bryce Young, which has been a while since he's thrown a pick, so I'm not going to be too critical, but it was not a smart decision. I chalk it up to he just did not see the safety coming. So that's how I look at that as. Um, Chuba Hubbard had a good game, 26 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. And congratulations to Chuba Hubbard for hitting the 1,000 yards rushing for the season. So congrats to him. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. So definitely he earned it. Good job. And of course, not too long ago, he got the extension to stay in Carolina. So well deserved. But congratulations to Chuba Hubbard on hitting 1,000 yards rushing for the first time in his NFL career. So, kudos. Adam Thielen had over 100 yards receiving. He had 9 catches, 102 yards receiving. Tommy Tremble had the only receiving touchdown. Um, I mean, Jalen Hurts, not high stats or anything like that. I mean, the passing game was, iffy, but they still, were able to get into the end zone. 14 of 21, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Got sacked 4 times. So good, decent pressure on Jalen Hurts. Although there were a couple of sacks that they could have had. Honestly, with the pressure that they were able to get, really should have been like 6 sacks. Because he got away with like at least 2 or so that should have been sacks. So really it should have been like 6 sacks. Um, Saquon Barkley went off, not surprised. Being that Carolina's run defense is not great, I figured Saquon Barkley was going to go off, and he did. 20 carries, 124 yards. He didn't get into the end zone, but still went over 100 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts had a couple of carries, a couple of scrambles. 8 carries, 59 yards, and he did get a rushing touchdown, the little tush push at the goal line. Not a whole lot in yardage on the passing game, but Grant Calcaterra got into the end zone, and so did Devontae Smith. So that was the only thing with that. Let's see. Josie Jewell had 1.5 sacks, and he also led the defense in tackles with 10 total. DJ Wonnum had a sack. Ashawn Robinson had a sack and a half. So, not bad. Sacked Jalen Hurts 4 times. Not bad. um, let's see. Eddie Pinheiro, unfortunately, did miss an extra point. But word is supposedly his plant foot. I believe he's dealing with a nagging injury in his plant foot. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but supposedly that's what I've heard. But let's see. I mean, really, Carolina had a lot of opportunities, really, to win this game. They had open opportunities to capitalize. Carolina had 20 first downs, pretty dang on good. 7 of 16 on third downs, not too bad. 3 of 5 on fourth downs. They had more plays than the Eagles, so they definitely had opportunities. Let's see. Both teams had 7 penalties apiece, but we had the 1 turnover from the Bryce Young interception. We won the time of possession battle, 33 minutes 33 seconds to 26 minutes 27 seconds. 2 for 2 in the red zone, so it was good to see Carolina at least capitalize by getting touchdowns when they were in the red zone. So that was good. Of course, Tommy Tremble had a touchdown and Chuba Hubbard had a touchdown. I mean, realistically, really just some key missed opportunities. The Xavier Legette drop at the end really hurt because that potentially could have been the game winner, because it would have put us at 22, and then if Pinheiro would make the extra point, then we would have had a 1-point lead. But yeah, just hard fought game. Legette, like I said, he had a few drops, and just it sucks. But main thing with him is he's got to make those catches. I understand he's a rookie, but he's also a first-round draft pick. So you gotta make those catches. You're a first-round draft pick. You gotta make those catches. Another thing that was really irritating. Unfortunately, Jonathan Brooks retore his ACL. It's really a bummer, but at the same time, this was why I wasn't really a fan of Carolina drafting him in the first place. Because y'all got to remember, we drafted him and he was still recovering from the ACL injury. I understand he was rated the top running back coming out of the draft, but it's like, I don't think that was a smart decision, drafting somebody that is currently hurt. Now, I could understand if it was like a more of a minor injury or whatnot, but it was a torn ACL. That's season ending. There's a reason why that's a season ending injury. So, I really, not to say that Jonathan Brooks can't be good. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he can't be good or whatnot. We saw a couple of flashes when he was out on that field. But, fact of the matter is, I wasn't a big fan of that draft pick, being that we really had more bigger needs than running back at the moment. So, I wasn't a crazy fan of that draft pick. Also, with him re-tearing that same ACL, that's in that same knee, like, he's only played like what, maybe this was his third game, and already retore that ACL. Hate to say it, but it's possible that he could be a bust before he can get going. I hope that's not the case, but it could be. Now, best case scenario, he go ahead and get the surgery now, and maybe he can recover in time for training camp for next season, or at least in time for preseason next season. So I think that's the best case scenario for him right now. And it's like, I know some folks out there want to say, well, Thomas Davis had 3 and he came back and played. That doesn't mean that it's really to be expected for somebody to have 3 torn ACLs. That's not exactly normal. That's not exactly supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, things like that can end careers early. Not to mention, not everybody comes back the same way, nor does everybody come back from said injury. So that's my whole thing. I mean, I wish the best for Jonathan Brooks. I hope he can come back 100% and have a better turnaround. But this isn't good. This isn't good. Especially considering we drafted him knowing that he was hurt, recovering from a torn ACL, didn't get to even play until way past halfway into the season, and then he just retore it. So, I'm just saying. I'm not declaring him a bust, but he could end up being a bust. And that's why I was not a fan of that draft pick. When there were bigger priority needs than running back at the time. And I'm sorry, you just don't draft somebody dealing with that type of injury at the moment. You know, I could see if it was a minor injury or something more lower priority, but torn ACL, nah, you just don't do that. I just don't think that was a smart idea. Overall, the one thing that really upset me the most with this game, and I know it might seem minor. I'll go ahead and I'll give y'all that. This might seem minor, but it was the way it was done that really annoyed the mess out of me. So at the end of the second quarter, Carolina Panthers got the ball and did a kneel down. And one of the Eagles defenders, as the ball was hiked, shoved Cade Mays during that. Like, legit shoved him really hard. And really, you know, there were some tensions back and forth. And I'm just like, was that really necessary on that Eagles defender to do that? It's like, you know you get the ball back. Y'all just scored. Y'all just scored a touchdown. You know you're going to get the ball back to start the second half. You clearly see Carolina is running a kneel down to end the second quarter. That was unnecessary. I thought that was a classless move and very unnecessary. Like I said, I could understand that it may have been minor compared to other scenarios and whatnot, but I just think it was a really jerk, classless move to do when you know your opponent is in a kneel down, is, you know, running a kneel down. And I don't want to hear no crap about, oh, they could have faked it with 4 seconds left. Really? Knowing that they're behind and the Eagles just scored a touchdown and they got the ball at 4 seconds left and no timeouts? Come on now. So that was my one issue overall. But other than that, I mean, Carolina, they played hard. And, you know, it was another close loss. But still, it was a loss. I still don't like losing. I'm not a fan of losing. But there were still some positives in this. But I really hope before the end of this season that we can at least win a few more games. I mean, we have 4 games left. It has 4 games left. So I'm hoping it'd be nice if we can win 3 or even 4 of these games, but I do hope that we can at least win another game or 2 before the end of this season. I really do. We got the Cowboys next, which they just lost tonight, Monday Night Football, against the Bengals. So they're vulnerable. So hopefully Carolina can get ready for the Cowboys and beat them. I mean, Carolina hasn't beaten the Cowboys since we had Cam Newton, so it's been a while. So, and that is a home game. That is a home game. Carolina has 2 home games left against Cowboys and the Cardinals. Cardinals is the last home game of the season, and then they finish off on a 2-game away trip against the Bucks and the Falcons. So, I know that technically they're not officially eliminated from playoff contention, but let's keep it real. Carolina's not making the playoffs. Carolina is not making the playoffs. Let's not kid ourselves. They're not making the playoffs. So, I know there's some folks I know that have hope, but let's keep it real. They're not making the playoffs. So, sorry, not sorry. And of course, with that Eagles win, of course, Eagles clinched a playoff spot. Not surprised there. I still think it's probably, when it comes to who will make it to the Super Bowl for the NFC, I still got a good feeling it's going to be Detroit. I mean, Philly will be, contending. And even Minnesota. You can't sleep on Minnesota. But I think Detroit is probably going to end up getting to the Super Bowl for the NFC. I just got that feeling. Let's see. A couple of more teams got officially eliminated, like the Jets, the Patriots, the Browns, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Raiders, the Giants, all eliminated from playoff contention. And so far, the only teams that have clinched a playoff spot are the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Lions. So, I think for some of these, it's going to come down to the wire. I mean, we know the AFC East, Bills have already clinched that division. AFC North, it's really going to come down between Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's got a good lead over Baltimore, at 10-3. Baltimore is 8-5. But I still think Baltimore will at least make a wild card. AFC South, the crazy thing about that is even the Colts still have a chance to win their division. As crazy as that sounds. But I think the Texans aren't going to end up winning the division. And then AFC West, the Chiefs have already clinched the AFC West. Not surprised there. But the Chargers and Broncos are still vying very hard for a wild card. So, I'm honestly thinking Baltimore will get one of the wild cards. And then it might just end up coming down between Denver and Los Angeles Chargers for that other wild card spot. Should be interesting, though. Should be really interesting. And for the NFC, I mean, NFC East, Washington still has a chance to win the division, but they're going to need to win out, and they're going to need Philly to lose out. But I'm pretty sure Philly's going to end up winning the NFC East. Now the NFC North, tight battle between the Vikings and Lions. Still a very tight battle. And don't sleep on Green Bay. Green Bay still has a chance to even win the division. So NFC North is going to be a really, really tough battle. NFC South, honestly, the Bucs are probably going to end up winning the division. I mean, Atlanta has really just fallen apart. And the Saints, well, they're going to be without Derek Carr for a while. So honestly, I think most likely Tampa Bay is going to lock up the NFC South. And the NFC West, honestly, all four teams have a chance. Seattle leads the division, but like I said, it's really close. The Rams, who just recently beat the Bills in a very high-scoring game, really have a chance as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes. But, you know, we shall see. And when it comes down to it, I think when it comes down to the MVP race and whatnot, to be honest, I think Josh Allen has a good chance. Lamar Jackson. But something tells me, really thinking about it, I think Josh Allen is probably going to end up winning MVP. I just have that feeling. I just really have that feeling. Also, as crazy as this sounds, don't sleep on Jared Goff and also Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has been playing extremely well. So don't sleep on Sam Darnold. He's been playing really well this year. So he could be in contention for MVP or even, you know, comeback player of the year. I don't know. But he should at least be in the race. He might not come close to winning it, but he should definitely be in the conversation. As crazy as that sounds, he should be in the conversation. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see who wins MVP this season. And honestly, you gotta include Saquon Barkley in that conversation as well. I know it's not too common for running backs to win MVP, especially compared to quarterbacks, but you definitely got to have Saquon Barkley in the conversation. Derrick Henry as well. And as far as, you know, maybe receivers, I mean, Justin Jefferson, maybe even Jamar Chase. But honestly, I think when it comes to offense, I think Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, I think names like that make sense. Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. Now for defense, now when it comes to defense, I don't know. I mean, names to consider. I mean, Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett. I don't see why not. Uh, Xavier McKinney. Uh, just a few names. Just a few names. But, yeah, don't be surprised, honestly, if Josh Allen wins his first MVP. I really think he should be a strong favorite. I really do. I really, really do. But that's pretty much all that I have for this video. This thing keeps falling down. What the heck? But yeah, like I said, a tough loss. Tough loss for Carolina. Really close. 22-16. Dropped to 3-10. So, like I said, only 4 games left. Not really sure how this is going to go, but we got the Cowboys next. Hopefully we can beat them. They're very vulnerable, so hopefully that'll be a win. But we shall see. Anyway, that's all I have. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty when you have a chance. And let me know y'all's thoughts on this game. What did you like, dislike? Yeah, just let me know your overall thoughts with this game. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Carolina Panthers talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Keep pounding. We're going to eventually get through this, but keep pounding. Keep your heads up. On to the next. That's all we can do. Anyway, thank you for watching. God bless. See y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.